Ladies and gentlemen, I almost don't even have to announce who this is, but since I get new subscribers like you do every single day, they may not know. This is Bix Weir. He has the Road to Ruta channel, also a paid membership site as well. He's got a great bunch of great information on his site for his paid subscription service about where we're heading in the world, where the U.S. is heading, what the future financial system may look like, Federal Reserve stuff, silver, metals, cryptos. He's your guy for that kind of stuff. What is that? What is your site? Tell me your site to sign up if they're interested.
Well, the road to root of the theory is the theory that there's people, good guys as I call them, behind the scenes, kind of trying to get the bad guys out. And the way I came up with it is through the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston website that they published these comic books about this little comic book character named Ruta. And Ruta is Root A is a computer programming term in the basic computer programming language written by John Kimony, and it was in the financial system was basically written by Alan Greenspan back in the 60s. So he goes through the whole thing of how I figured that out, but how it pertains to everything today, I think is really interesting. I found out that the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, the people who put out the Road to Ruta stuff, are in charge of the cryptos for the Fed. That is the division that's in charge of the cryptocurrencies. And
I'm sure that's a coincidence. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it's a coincidence.
And it's right across the street from MIT, where they're working on some of the higher level crypto stuff, especially with Litecoin. Supposedly they're going to have an announcement the same time as Bitcoin goes through its whatever it's doing.
Segwit, yeah.
Litecoin, I'm really bullish on Litecoin.
That's two of us.
I think, I see Litecoin passing by Bitcoin and waving goodbye because it's faster and it's cheaper.
It's like almost instant. I had a guy today. He's like, "Hey, would you, can I trade you, some some Litecoin for some Ethereum? I don't have any Ethereum, and can I just trade you?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll do an exact even swap, no problem." And we swap, token for token or whatever, or technically crypto. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to send it right now." Ching, there it is. Wow. I mean, it's fast. It's really fast. And
it's lightning fast.
Lightning.
And it's adopting the Lightning Network, supposedly. I think that's the big announcement. Charlie Lee, the guy who basically invented Litecoin, quit his job at Coinbase to concentrate fully on Litecoin, knowing that this transition is happening. Bitcoin is turning into like the gold standard where it's ultra safe, but it's going to be too slow and too expensive to do transactions for the everyday Joe.
But it'll store wealth. Yeah, it'll store wealth though.
It'll store wealth, but then you got something you can use like Litecoin, which you can buy your cup of coffee with. Hopefully it'll be amicable. The Bitcoin people won't be too mad when all the not all of it, but a lot of the wealth, the market cap, goes flowing into Litecoin. And at $50, it's a screaming buy. Screaming.
Yeah, absolutely. And you and I both know Cliff High very well, which, for people who don't know, we started this thing like once a month where we kind of get together in the beginning of the month and do it like a Skype chat. We call it the Three Amigos. And we just talk about all kinds of stuff like this and everything, everything we can feel like talking about. But Cliff is extremely busy right now and can't join. Not that we really would want him to, because it's not the once a month thing anyways, It's hard to get him on that, so he's so busy.
We could just wallow around on our own this time.
Yeah, but he has told us, well in advance, like he always does, Litecoin's the data is suggesting it's gonna do quite well later this year due to some kind of announcement where, hey, we're gonna start seeing it used for such and such or whatever, which is what you're kind of saying right now. So I've got a stash of Litecoin just on standby, but I'm still I'm not all in Litecoin. I want to play this game, I want some of this token. I want some Populous, which, got 5 of those. I want some Pillar. The Pillar's like my next hot list thing. And,
Pillar,
of course, a bunch of
you
other
were
ones.
the man. You were the Pillar man.
Yeah, I mean, I did the interview with the guy, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to really, I read the white paper stuff, but some of the examples came out, and I'm like, man, this could be something. This could really be something.
It was in Cliff's report. And
yeah, and I didn't even know it was in there because I was looking at, I have my little calendar list and stuff. I look at that stuff, and I kind of go through them and poke around. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Then that one looks interesting, and I found Pillar. Yeah. And I'm like, huh. So I was looking at it for a little while, and then kind of stopped, and then went and looked at it again, read some more on it, found a different site where they had a lot more information on it, I'm like, okay. And I'm like, you know what? I got the stupid report. Why don't I just look at the report? He just released it, a few days ago. So I went and looked at it. Sure enough, Pillar's in there. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is good news. I'm liking what I'm seeing. So I actually reached out to Cliff and was like, hey, it's in there, and here's some new information I found out about it, because I know you it was a little vague in your report, but what do you think about this? So he looked at it and was like, it looks like a major win. It'll be a big player later on, but it's literally what he called as the pillar. It's a great name. They use the right name because it's going to be a pillar to do transactions with all the other cryptos. And I was talking to the CEO of it the other day, before I did my video, to say, hey, I think this is like a their must-have kind of a token. What I don't know is this thing gonna because their ICO, we had gotten the pre-sale, but they have an ICO coming out on Saturday, and I got a bunch of people telling me, okay, I'll get in on that one. I missed this one, whatever. And
I think that one's gonna go just as fast.
I thought it's probably gonna go fast, but they're releasing a lot. There's gonna be a lot to go around, so I thought, well, because of that reason, maybe it won't go quite as fast unless a couple of whales get in. But I don't know.
Just the pre-ICO that you got everybody all hyped up about, I mean, that's going to carry over big time, because some of the hedge funds are going to say, hey, what's going on over here? I can make some money here, and they got a lot of money to throw around. So I think it'll do very well. Probably sell out. I don't know how fast, but I'm pretty sure it'll sell out. It's good technology. The structure of the company, Cliff was saying, is a little different.
Yeah.
Because it's like a bunch of smart people getting together, working from different parts of the world. But I like the concept too, and I got some. So yeah.
Two thumbs up. Ride that. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I was thinking about, because he was, I've had a couple conversations with him in email, and he's like, okay, well, one of the things that people are like upside down about right now is, if all of our data is on this thing, it's in the cloud, and it's. So we have to, I've got to squash that, because that's not exactly what it is. It's not like you have all your data on the Google cloud or the Microsoft cloud. It's blockchain, just like any other token or coin. It's blockchain.
Honesty machine, a trust machine.
Yeah, it's on the blockchain is where your information is. So, and the only person who can ever see it, if the FBI came up to you and, came up to them even, hey, show us this person. I can't. Give me his or her private key, and then I'll show you their information. But if you don't have the private key, I can't help you. Yeah. And that kind of thing. So it's like you have a token. Let's say a token comes out for the rental car industry or the hotel industry, whatever. You just use your such and such crypto, token to do that transaction. But you're gonna need a rental car too, plus at the hotel. So you're gonna need another crypto for that one, and then you may have something else you need to do. Use a crypto for that one, or like the pay token card. I want to go buy something with my credit card, the 10x card.
Yep.
And it'll go out and make a transaction, flip the crypto for cash. Pay it, okay, good. And basically, Pillar Coin, they want to be the center of all that and just work together with all these different coins that come out, all the ones that end up sticking and become basically the future, and say, let us be the middleman to just help everything connect. And I'm like, okay, and I'm thinking
they can do it technologically. That it's going to be amazing.
And I asked Cliff about it earlier today, actually, and he says it looks like they will take that particular space and essentially like a monopoly, if you will. They're just gonna, he said it's not gonna happen overnight, and I'm thinking too, I don't know that these coins, whether they sell it Saturday, Sunday, whatever, are we gonna see, Veritaseum or Populous, where it's, oh my gosh, already up 10 times in 2 or 3 days, 4 days, after it's released. Well, I don't know that we're gonna see that, but
start trading right away. But Veritaseum, it was kind of, under the radar. No one really knew what was going on when it
lasted a month, right? It was out for a month. Yeah. Anyone could get it. Yeah. I was in, I think, on the 3rd week, and then 3 weeks after that's when everyone heard my video. Holy crap! I just sold it. Made a small fortune, and it's going to this beautiful house we're trying to get. It is perfectly timed. I'll never forget that the rest of my life.
I didn't sell mine, my friend. I didn't sell mine.
I looked at it today. You sent me an email, Skype, Veritaseum. You see what it was at today earlier? Whoa. And it's like, man, and I knew this. I'm like, I know it's going to double from where I sold it. It's going to probably triple from where I sold it.
Well, Cliff has cheat notes because he sends his out into the future to bring back information. Yeah. But he has it at some point. I think he was saying next year, challenging Bitcoin in dollars. And he has Bitcoin going to 18,000. So you're sitting here with Veritaseum at like $130 right now,
And I still got some, but not what I
with the
had.
potential of $18,000 next year. But what Reggie's doing is the most amazing thing, because all these ICOs and these new blockchain type companies with tokens, they all have big plans. They all have, but they have a lead time usually 2-3 years. We're going to get something up and up and going.
Yeah.
Veritaseum's up and going now. He's already signed an MOU with the Jamaican Stock Exchange to create a decentralized exchange right next to, basically running in parallel. And if you're a person who owns a stock on the Jamaican Stock Exchange, would you trust the criminal organization known as the Stock Exchange or the blockchain Veritaseum solution that takes all the middlemen out, all the costs out, no need for the DTCC and all that criminality, and you can literally, if this works, and Reggie's supposed to be implementing it in August, which is so fast. I mean, it's something that's on the ground and working right now, and I think if that goes well, look out, COMEX. Can you imagine a trustworthy and honest system trading silver, futures and options in silver using Veritaseum?
Yeah, no futures like the paper contracts that they just create out of nowhere.
No, he's gonna. Well, yeah, but see, it's the criminality that goes on. There's nothing wrong with futures and options. Yeah. It's the criminality of the quantity and the unknown. Flash crash trading.
And you and I can't see it. That's the thing. If we want to see what they're doing, hey, they just sold $1 billion off today on the exchange, crushed the price. You can't ask them and say, hey, who was that? Who did that move? No, you got to sue us. You got to file a lawsuit to find out. Oh, we don't have to anymore. We can go to the blockchain and see whose ID that was.
It was 50 million ounces in 1 minute, that latest silver flash crash. 50 million ounces of electronic silver shorts basically thrown onto the market to slam the price, to hit all the stop losses going down so that the big guys can cover.
And you saw the CME head, was it today or yesterday on the Fox News?
What did he say?
The head of the CME group is saying gold should be, $5,000 to $6,000 an ounce right now. I'm thinking, did I just hear the president of the CME group say that on Fox News? He sure as hell did.
Well, you got to be careful with that, because he'll throw out something to entice you in, and then they'll slam it.
Yeah, exactly. Get in now, and then it got crushed even harder. And then how about Janet? How about Janet Yellen's sign? Did you see the guy with the sign, the Buy Bitcoin sign behind her speaking? Did you catch that?
No, I did catch it. Nobody has actually proven yet if that is a real thing or a Photoshop.
It looks real to me. I watched the video as opposed to just the screenshot. The actual video of her talking and the guy behind there moving. To fake that, I mean, if they faked it, that was phenomenal. But I think it was real.
I'm loving that. Yeah, Yellen. I mean, nobody even thinks or talks about the Fed anymore. Who cares what they say? Nobody listens to them. Everybody knows the markets are rigged 100% all the time. So what do? Do you really care if the price of silver goes up or down, knowing that they can click a mouse and change the direction anytime they want? I'm not saying I'm giving up on silver. I think at some point it will be set free, but I think it will be the cryptos that set it free, either through the introduction of an honest exchange, which I think Veritaseum could do very well, or through the crypto earnings being cashed out and going to buy silver with it, physical silver.
Yeah, actually buying it, yeah.
And if you listen to Ted Butler, his take on JP Morgan's position right now is they've got the smallest short position they've ever had, and since they took over Bear Stearns' short position. And he said this might be the flip.
Where they go long.
It's all whether or not JP Morgan shorts when silver starts moving up. See, because they cap the price rises and then they buy it back when they slam it. And it's been very profitable for them. But right now, JP Morgan has their shortest short position since they took over the Bear Stearns silver short.
Wow.
So yeah, it's real exciting. Something is happening.
It sounds like it, because we also heard the thing with Andrew McGuire. Something big's going to happen in the market. Hadn't happened yet. 26 days has gone, but he said, "Look, I don't know. It's a few days past that, but just sit tight. Remains to be seen. We're all kind of waiting, anxiously." But the day he said it was going to happen, we saw a big slam. You saw the 1425, I think it hit, and then went back up to 15 something in silver, like, you know, like that. So I'm sure a bunch of stops just got, you know, crushed.
That was purely orchestrated by Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, along with J.P. Morgan. They just said, hey, "Look at these little gold bugs, thinking they're gonna pull something over on us. Click of a mouse, bang."
And you know what's funny about all this too? You got so many people playing the crypto game, making literally small fortunes, some big fortunes, and saying, "I'm taking some of my profit and I'm buying more precious metals than I ever would have been able to without this." So they're now taking that off the table when it wasn't planned for them to ever take it off the table, and they've got cryptos left over. So it's like a double-edged sword for, you know, the elite. They're just getting, you know, getting hit from all ways right now.
Yeah, which is great, and they're going to start printing money to buy cryptos. That's going to be the real interesting time, is when all the central banks around the world start printing money to buy cryptos for their own country.
And imagine what that's going to do to the price of all these cryptos when that starts happening.
It's going to just get ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. That could be even a Fed, you know, meeting where Janet Yellen says, "We've decided to QE, and all our QE money is going to go right into cryptocurrencies to stock up for when this system we've been running for the last 100 years fails. We're going to have something else." And I think that's what they're doing right now with the cryptos. You notice there's no laws. You know, there's a couple laws that sort of threaten the cryptos, but nothing, really nothing.
There's no real clear definitions.
No. The only time they announce one of those laws is when they want to slow down the price appreciation. And that's what they just did with, like, oh, you can't leave the country with over $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. How the hell are you ever going to figure out who's got $10,000? Bitcoin is not in a space. It's not in a place. It's on a blockchain on millions of computers. So there's no way you could ever enforce that law if it was actually a law.
It's just fear mongering, like you said. It's just fear. You know, slow it down.
Yeah, well, that's it. It was to slow down the price appreciation, and that's exactly what it did. And all of a sudden, people started selling. Well, it wasn't. It was the traders who really sold. I don't know anybody who's in the cryptos that was saying, "Oh, I got to get out because I don't think they're going to work."
Yeah.
The people who are in the cryptos said, "Well, it's getting too high. I want to sell now and buy back when it gets lower." And so there's a lot of people sitting there with cash, and they're starting to load up on Ethereum right now. Anything under $200 Ethereum, you can see it just bounces really fast.
Yep.
And so the big money, this one guy made, like, I think it was $390 million on one Ethereum trade, and he sold at the top. And then so he's got all that cash, you know, potentially. He knows the Ethereum market. He's going to go right back in and get it under $200
and
bring it to $600 and wash and rinse and recycle.
That's it. That's the name of the game.
It is a crazy crypto summer, and I would call that absolutely a web bot hit. That's what Cliff was saying since last year. Next summer is going to be the crazy crypto summer.
Yeah, and you're going to see the massive crocodile teeth action. And as we get into summer, you're going to be some, you know,
oh my God,
stomach turning events. Oh my gosh, like kind of like recently with Ethereum. I think it was like 2 days ago. I was doing my video 3 or 4 days ago where I was like, hey, all these ICOs coming up. We may see a dip in Ethereum, so get ready. We might see 100 plus, you know, something dollar Ethereum. Sure enough, it was, I don't know if it was the night before or after or 2 days later, but my buddy that lives here, David, in the neighborhood with me, he's like, oh yeah, I was up that night, and I was looking at my phone, and it was like 174. He's like, I ran out to my computer. It was already on. As fast as I could get in there, I wanted to buy some more, but by the time I got in, it was almost 180 again. He said, but I still bought it anyways, and then the next day it was like 223. So he's like, I think I might sell again.
Definitely bouncing along the bottom now. Next move is coming end of July, into August, and it's going to be even higher. That's the thing that if you look at the chart, the highs it's higher highs and higher lows. So it's just going boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And you got to have balls to stick in it and just ride it out. What I like to do is at the tops, when it feels toppy, sell some and go buy some silver. And make sure you have enough cash to wait out the next crocodile tooth.
Yeah, I spoke with a friend of mine's. Well, he's kind of a friend of mine too. I'm gonna say my friend's brother, but both of the brothers are my friends. So I spoke to a friend. He's texting me. He's like, "Yeah, I saw your video, you know, about Plealer. I think I might want to get on some of that." And he's like, "But you know, I need to get some Ethereum first." He's like, "You know, I was kind of strapped for cash earlier the year, like in January, like very beginning January." He's like, "Man, I sold off what I had in Ethereum at like $15. I just did it." He's like, "I'm kicking myself in the butt right now like you can't believe." I said, "I know. I feel your pain. I understand. It was 15, it was 19, it was 20. Even at the low $200 prices hovering around now, it's like, it's still
DAO thing crashed the price of Ethereum from 20 smacked it down to like 5 again, and then it just started. They fixed the problem with the hard fork, and
yep.
Vitalik took care of that. With the coming Bitcoin issues, I don't see any reason for people to be in Bitcoin during that time. I think they should be in Litecoin.
I was just going to talk about that. You just pulled the words right out of my mouth. I don't have any Bitcoin as I sit here speaking to you. Mine went into Litecoin. Go ahead, continue.
Well, I don't think, yes, exactly. for various reasons. But yeah, if there is chaos, you don't want to be anywhere near it. But I think Bitcoin will be fine in the long run, as long as you hold your Bitcoin outside of any online wallet. Any online wallet. You need to hold all your cryptocurrencies on your own possession, just like silver.
Yeah.
Because who knows if these companies are going to, last. And especially with something as potentially chaotic as a hard fork or the implementation of the Segwit thing, and nobody really knows how it's going to go down. It could split into 2 coins, but if you have your Bitcoin in your own possession, you end up with 2 coins.
Yeah. Just
like Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. I mean, you're basically doubling the amount of coins you have. I don't think it's gonna. I think Segwit will take over because now we have Litecoin, and Litecoin is all about doing things cheaper and faster. And I think in August, and the announcement from MIT supposedly is August 1st, and it's about Litecoin. Some big announcement about Litecoin on August 1st, which is the same day the Segwit thing was going to happen. So it's clear to me that Litecoin is going to.
It'll suck it right out of there. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, take the baton from. If Bitcoin doesn't want to participate with 7 billion customers buying cups of coffee around the world, Litecoin will do it and love doing it. So yeah, it's real exciting.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to know, because I've had a few people ask me like, "What are you going to do about this? What's your stance on the Segwit thing coming up?" I'll tell you right now, I'm completely out of Bitcoin. I mean, I am completely out of Bitcoin. I dumped what I had into Litecoin. Matter of fact, I sold a little bit of Ethereum a little while back, not a lot, to also put in Litecoin because I think, like what Cliff was saying, what you're saying now, we're going to see some nice movement over there. But I think what I'm going to be watching Bitcoin carefully, because if we start to see it dive, August 1st is coming, people are getting nervous, sell off, 1,500 Bitcoin, oh my gosh. I'm going to be ready to pounce on some low prices. As soon as Segwit is implemented, bang. If the price has been crushed, because I think we're going to ride that baby way up.
But a Bitcoin slam could take other cryptos down with it. Not True. Down, like for good. Cliff's caught Bitcoin going out 100 years, so this is going to be nothing. But the crocodile teeth happen, and say everything goes smooth, and all of a sudden everybody's trying to get back into Bitcoin, and there are nobody's selling their Bitcoin. These things can move so fast because they aren't really liquid markets, especially the small cryptos that are trading on like Ether Delta.
Yeah,
I mean you've seen that they can go 500 times in one trade, and that's the interesting thing about exchanges is that it doesn't take $1 billion to make $1 billion market cap. It takes one trade at a certain price that since it was the last trade, all other tokens are priced the same as that last thing. So it didn't take $1 billion to get to the $1 billion market cap. It took one
good trade. Yeah.
Trading at $10 when there's 100 million coins, and it's bingo. It's got $1 billion market cap. It's weird with these exchanges because they're so illiquid, they're so small, and then when people are getting into it, the people who own it don't want to sell all of a sudden. So you see these spikes. And those people who were sellers before turn into buyers again.
Yeah.
So those are crocodile teeth. That is the definition of Cliff's crocodile teeth.
Now, would you agree? This is one hell of a time, exciting as hell to deal with this stuff, isn't it?
It's so fun. So fun.
It's incredible to deal with this and to be part of something that's on the ground floor, crypto space.
Anybody who says this is a bubble, I'm gonna ask them. Go and ask your next door neighbor if they know anything about what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, it can't be a bubble. But everybody knew about the tulip bubble. Everybody knew about tulips when that was going on. They knew what a tulip was, and they knew they were going crazy, and they wanted in. But hardly, like you said, there's people telling me, Joe, I work in IT in California, big companies. No one's talking about this. You ask them about something, they're not even talking about it. No, the rest of the world's like leaving us behind in this stuff. All these ICOs, these great ideas. We're going to do this with that one. And over here, we're still doing the old Google, Microsoft, you know.
Hedge funds have no idea also. A couple niche hedge funds are starting to get into it. But the majority of hedge funds where the big money flows around, you know, like it's going out of style, no idea. No idea.
And wait till they hit it. Can you imagine what the price are going to be when the big boys say, okay, markets we're done with these markets. We can't sit here and mess around with 2, 3, 4% interest rate. I'm looking over here at cryptos. Oh my God, we got clients that, you know, shareholders and clients, guys, it's time. And then
wait till the central banks hit it. Wait till the central banks say, oh my God, they're taking over our business. We got to go out and buy all these cryptos up because we can create cash out of thin air and we can go out and buy all the cryptos with all this fake money that we're printing. That's when it gets really silly.
And somebody, I don't know if I can find it real quick, had just sent me, right before I called you here on Skype. Here it is. CoinDesk. I'm going to read the article. And anyone listening, if you want to keep up with like cryptocurrency news, man, CoinDesk.com.
That's a good one.
Is actually great. It's actually taking a minute to load for some reason. Here it goes. Goldman, this is posted July 13th. That's today. Goldman Sachs granted SETL coin cryptocurrency patent. The vampire squid Goldman Sachs has been granted a cryptocurrency patent.
I want to see the white paper on that, baby.
And not only that, what was that thing about the bubble? Does Goldman Sachs get into stuff when it's a bubble? No, the bankers get in when the bubble bursts and there's blood on the streets. So they must think there's blood on the streets now with where their prices are, which they're already insane.
Oh, they smell money. They smell money in the cryptos. But yeah, a crypto issued by Goldman Sachs, I would have to require that Cliff High goes through every single line of code of that crypto to make sure there's no, sneaky little suckers in there.
Yeah. So on that note, I guess I'm gonna let you go. For everyone else, I think the ICO Saturday for Pillar, at least my time East Coast is like 3 a.m. I think your time over there on the West Coast would be midnight.
I've been getting up at like 100 to get into some of these ICOs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if it's the one I want, I'm on it.
I'm not as. That's the problem with the ICOs these days. They're not giving out the address until it's like time, and then you're hurrying and rushing trying to get all this stuff done because you don't want to be kicked out. And so many people are making bad mistakes, clicking the wrong button, doing the wrong thing. It is insane out there. But before we go though, there's one thing I do want to say.
Yeah.
Road to Ruta, we started a real cool promotion for the private road. I'm giving away $30 in Veritaseum paper wallet. So everybody who signs up for the private road is $2.99 for a year. You get $30 in Veritaseum paper wallet mailed to your front door.
Now hang on, let me cover something. Give him a second plug because he deserves it. Didn't you say, oh hey guys, we were doing this thing with, it may have been Veritaseum also, or one of the coins, and because the price went up so high, it paid for itself. The subscription paid for itself.
I was giving I was giving away 30, or it was $20 because it was only $1.99 for the subscription back then. I was giving $20 of Ethereum away, and Ethereum was like at $10. Well, Ethereum went to 300. That $20 was all of a sudden they paid for their whole subscription and more.
Can you imagine
all these? Oh my God, you're paying me to join the road.
Yeah. Only in crypto land can this happen.
Yeah, that's
beautiful
true.
thing. So
it could happen in silver, except it's rigged. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
one day it will happen in silver.
Easily, yeah, you'd easily pay for it. Here's an ounce of silver, Bix. I just paid for my whole year subscription. But again, rigged. Not gonna happen yet.
An ounce of silver.
Yep. All right, so I appreciate you coming on. I know you're busy. I just want to talk a little crypto. It's exciting right now. All these things coming out, and so yeah. Anyways, that's roadtoruta.com, right?
It is.
Roadtoruta.com.
YouTube channel JSnip4. Don't miss it. Everybody's talking about Joe these days.
And his own. You know what? Not that I want to give myself a little plug, but I emailed you guys earlier. I was so excited. Somebody emailed me, dude, you're big time now. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Click on the link. It's like a mainstream article somewhere, and they about these ICOs and they're getting into these cryptos and talking about the crypto space, and they name me as like one of these top 3 players. I'm like, Jason at 4?
It just said Joe, Jason at 4.
Yeah, I'm like, no, shoot, man, hey, all right, pat on the back. This is cool, man. It's exciting. So I'm glad I'm a part of it. I know you, Cliff, everybody, we're all like super excited. We're running with this thing, man.
We're so far ahead of the game. It's amazing how far ahead of the game we are, and we get it. And everybody else is going to get to where we are. We just got there faster.
That's it.
Thanks to.
And there's a lot of room left. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's a lot of room left. There's plenty of time. Come on, the pool's nice and warm. Come in. There's plenty of time.
Cliff said we got decades before people really, really, really catch on, and then centuries of using it. And as long as we need money or forms of, as long as we need commerce, we're gonna have.
That's always, that's forever. So that's where we're heading.
I don't know. If replicators come out like Star Wars, you can punch it in your cheeseburger and you get that. Who needs money?
True. At that point, you just press a button. Now, get my new car or flying vehicle or whatever. As a matter of fact, it won't be vehicles. We just teleport over to Biggs' house. We're going to do a video together tonight. Biggs, I'm coming over. We're going to do a double video at your house tonight.
I'm going to jump the screen right now.
Just make sure you don't do it if a fly's in there. I saw a movie called The Fly once, and
I saw that.
It morphed the guy. I don't want to see that happen to you.
Get married. Yeah, I trimmed down my beard, and now I just have a good.
All right, Bix. Good talking to you. I imagine maybe the next time will probably be with me, you, and Cliff with the Three Amigos deal. Yeah.
Sounds good.
So, all right, buddy. Take care.
All right, later.
See ya.